Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Old Newspaper Bingo. Hold on, let me pull up the music. Tonight we're listening to Medieval Lo-Fi. Hello, Kama. Hello, Suyoku. Starting screen is intense. Yeah, starting soon. Screen thing isn't yet. It's to set the mood. Starting soon has to set the mood and set the tone, you know? So that is why. Because it's an intense stream. Hello, Alex. Welcome. Okay. Yeah, so Old Newspaper Bingo tonight. Who knows what we'll find? Sometimes, like, you know, you find absolutely crazy stuff in these papers. Sometimes it's a little more mellow. You never really know. So we'll see. It's kind of, there's like, you know, millions of pages of old newspaper, and it's kind of random what you'll get. So we'll see. Rare Wednesday stream as well. So yeah, I still want to get this in because this week like I said, I'm kind of like partly inspired by Tom from Unsanity, who does like Chef's Club bingo, and he was doing one again over the weekend, and so I was watching that a little bit, and then the past couple weeks, Jack's films, if anyone watches Jack, who I watch off and on, like on YouTube for the past, like, I don't know, 11 years or something like that. And like every couple years, I like binge one of his videos and kind of see what he's been up to. But recently, he's been doing Sniper Wolf bingo here on Twitch. So kind of calling her out on some of her bad YouTuber practices. So I've been watching a lot of his Sniper Wolf bingo content, which I think he's streaming tonight still, actually. Hello, Knuckle, welcome. Hopefully everyone's doing well. But yes, I've been watching a lot of like bingo streams, and I'm like, I want to do another bingo stream. I can't, like, I'm not nearly as brave as like Jack or Tom to like do an established YouTube channel attack with bingo. That's not something I can do. Like, Jack can do it, of course, because like he's a big YouTuber himself, well established, but I am not someone who is willing to take on some of these channels. So we're just gonna attack old newspapers instead, and not even really attack. We're really just we're having a jolly good laugh at history is what's happening here. Because history can't come back to get you. So yeah, That's the philosophy behind this. But I've been in the mood for bingo since I've been watching theirs, and I'm like, I want to do it too. I made a couple changes to our bingo cards. You can press !bingo if you want to get a card of your own and play along. Not all of the cards have all of there's like, I don't know, a bunch of like 50 or something different squares, so not all the cards have all the squares. So if you kind of want to play with your own one, I don't necessarily have the list up of all the possible bingos or all the possible squares, so if you do play on your own and you like aren't sure of something, you can ask a chat. No prizes for winning, just, you know, feeling good. It is self-satisfaction, bragging rights even. But we'll see if we can, as a stream, can get our stream card to a bingo. It's a little tricky. It's been in past streams. Some of them have actually been pretty easy, some less so. So we'll see. About our card tonight, here's our card for us right here, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, and well, yeah, it's fine. Anyway, yes, but really in the mood for old newspaper bingo. I wanted to stream it last night, but last night I tried a new tea that made me feel really nauseous, so I was like, I don't really want to stream, but I still really wanted to get in some old newspaper bingo, so that's why Wednesday stream it is. So we'll have 2 back-to-back streams here tonight and tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll be back for Medieval Dynasty. Okay, let's get into the bingo game, shall we? Okay, first let's look at our card. Let's peruse our card here. Furniture ad is the middle square, because it's almost guaranteed to have any sort of furniture ad. Now this is furniture ad, not picture of furniture. Picture of furniture is a different square. We have science, we have pun, 1920s. Our states are California, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Ice cream again. Ice cream is kind of a little iffy. It kind of depends. You really need definitely a summer paper to get those ice cream ads. Season styles is something I changed. Before I had fall, winter, spring, summer styles all as a separate category, but I decided to change it. Any one of those will trigger this square. So we have funny animals, distinguished gentlemen, a newspaper gazette. How easy or hard do I think this will be? It really kind of depends. It's really hard to tell. Some of these, like when I was doing test ones of them, it's like you look at a paper and like on the first page you get like 10 of these squares. But it kind of depends if you like were to play it on your own, and like if I'm judging a card, having too many of the years or too many of the states or the presidents, because you're really probably only get one of those. Like if we look at a paper from California, we're not going to have Ohio and Pennsylvania. If we look at a paper from the 1910s, obviously it's not going to be for the 1920s. But we're not playing blackout bingo. We're just playing, you know, 5 in a row, so it's not too difficult to get a bunch of these. But oh, welcome, Grim. You're going to be lurking. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in and saying hi. And Kama, you're going to be lurking too. That's fine. That's fine. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the lurk. Okay. So we have a picture of shoe and a picture of a hat right next to each other, which is kind of funny. But yeah, some of these are only going to be like once per paper, sort of situations. So, or like one of them per paper, like the states, the years, and the presidents. So, you probably will be too. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you for stopping and saying hi. So yeah, so it kind of depends. Some of these things are also probably more common in some years than others. Like bicycles seem to be a real big 1890s trend, which we don't have on here, so we probably won't target an 1890s paper. But yeah, so we only have one president, which is good. 3 states, which isn't that bad. We probably will not, from one paper, we're definitely not going to get this diagonal or this line. But we have some pictures. Gazette. Oh yeah, this is like the name of the paper, which we only have one, so we'll try to find a gazette. I meant to put star on here as well, because a lot of papers are the something star, but we'll keep it as it is. But yeah, so we'll probably pick a gazette paper, and let's see. Yeah, we only have one president, which is nice, and only 2 decades. So we pick one of them and, you know, get that one out of the way, and then we don't have to worry about the other one. So Yeah, we're looking pretty good here for strike, murder, bicycles. Oh, just a what? WTF, sexism, spectacles, famous person, and baseball. Yeah, maybe later too, because I always fall asleep. Well, that's fine. Well, thank you for being here for the beauty part, at least. And it's fine to lurk later as well. That's also still good. Okay. So yeah, so this is, we're having a pretty good card. So it's looking promising. All right. Let me switch over to our paper. And also another change I made. It's not on our stream card for today, but another change that I did make was instead of racism exclamation mark, I put racism sad face, just so we are clear it's a bad thing. It's really weird. I debated taking it off the card entirely because it's like feels weird to like celebrate like, yay, we have it on our card, but ooh, that's a bad thing. But a lot of the things are bad things, and watching like the other streamers who do bingos, like usually you're kind of counting up weird or bad things. A lot of the things are negative, so just know on a lot of Twitch bingos, they will be negative things. So yeah, racism sounds like an exciting thing. I still have the exclamation mark with sexism because I'm a girl and I feel like I can get away with that. But it's an angry exclamation mark. It's an angry one, not an excited one. So that's why I made it sad face. So it's gonna be racism sad face instead. It's fixed now. It's better. Just so we are clear. Negative. Sexism, I'm gonna say it's still an angry sexism. But racism, due to any ambiguity that it could be, it's gonna be sad face racism. But it's angry sexism. And I'm a girl, like so I said, that's why I'm a girl, I'm allowed to do it. I have some say. But racism, I am white, so I don't have any say in that. So I changed it. But for sexism, it still stays. Just so we are clear. But I didn't want to take it off entirely because then it was kind of like we're not going to like acknowledge it. So on topics, a lot of people have been searching for Oppenheimer and the Boston Strangler. You can't see that because it's covering. Don't worry, it's there. You can see a picture of Oppenheimer there. Boston Stranglers, the stuff above. The Mary Ann Cotton murders. She's considered one, I'm covering this, but on the right side, is considered one of Britain's most prolific female serial killers. I don't think I've heard of her. It's kind of cool. I wonder if she was on a podcast recently. Anyway, on our paper, on our bingo card, I'm not going to switch over, but we have our states are California, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So let's do, I'm not sure that we've done in Ohio, or at least not recently, and it looks like in a good spot on our card. So since I believe, yeah, Ohio and Pennsylvania are on the diagonals, and Ohio seems like one that's easier. So I like to, play into these. So let's go to Ohio. Oh, right. I usually do years first. Search by date range. Keyword is 6. What? Who said that? No one wanted that to be a 6. Okay. Date option. Yeah, we want or range. So our date ranges, our decades are the 1910s or the 1920s. 1910s is in a line with Ohio. So again, we'll kind of let our card direct us. 10 to 1920. Okay, and then from here we'll narrow it down on the map on the right to Ohio. Okay, and then we want a gazette. We're looking for a gazette with a good number of paper, and a good number of pages to it. Oh, this one, the Chillicothe Gazette. Maybe we'll go a little bit farther, because I can't even pronounce that, and I feel bad. Oh, Alright, we have one option at least. We have Gazette with a decent number of pages, but part of the reason it has a decent number of pages is because it goes up to modern times. And I also don't want to do one that has a lot of modern papers. See, look, everything's called the Star. I mean, I don't know if I mean, this is still, I guess, a current running one, but I don't know. Today, a paper that's the Something Star, to me, doesn't seem like, not like it's not legit, but man, a lot of these are still going. Ohio's got long-running papers. We're already down to the T's. They don't... I guess really Ohio is really being pulled up because of these, Lancaster Gazette's looking kind of rough there. Okay, there are a few gazettes, but let's go to that first one we saw. We won't let pronunciation stand in our way. Okay. Now we want to go to the 1910s. Let's do we'll do earlier, 1911, I think. That's what I'm feeling. And let's go ahead and look for today's date, which is August 9th. It was also a Wednesday. Wow. Okay. At least for me, it's August 9th. All of you people living in the future, too bad. Okay, got a good drink, sorry. Okay. What are we looking at here? Zoom out. We got a lot of... Whoa. James Graves kills wife and then commits suicide at Chesterfield, Indiana. Oh, this is a different name. This is not the Chillicothe Gazette. This is the Scioto Gazette. From Chillicothe. Interesting, interesting. Oh, this is the evening paper even. Flea's nest to be eyesore no longer. Okay, let's... Are we assuming this is President Taft? Don't we have him on our card? This is gonna be fantastic. To the White House. Yeah, we have, oh, and we have another President Taft. Wow. Okay. Because you'd be surprised how often the president is not actually show up on like front pages and stuff. Sometimes the president just isn't doing anything cool. Okay, we need to switch to our bingo card here for a minute. We gotta switch over. Oops. Okay, never mind. We're good. Okay. Okay, so already we have Ohio and Gazette because we were targeting those 1910s, and we have Taft. Amazing. Amazing. Strong start for this card. Okay. Back to the paper. Let's see what else we got. Wait, what is... Seeking revenge because of testimony given against him in court, Bob Taylor of Braithwaite County, attacked a railroad construction camp here last night with a party of Confederates and was killed. Not Confederates, this is the 1910s. This is just comrades, companions, I'm assuming, and was killed, and several of his party wounded. Taylor was arrested a few weeks ago upon the charge of bootlegging, and several of the railroad laborers testified in behalf of the prosecution. Last night, Taylor gathered a party of his friends and crept up near the camp and fired into the tents. The laborers returned the fire, killing Taylor instantly and seriously wounding several others, forcing the rest to flee. I know we have murder on our card, but I don't really think that counts as murder when he attacked first. So this is a battle, and I don't think that counts. Gallagher's successor to what? Board of Trustees for the Home for the Incurables. Is that like a mental asylum? The Home for the Incurables? Or is it just like a long-term hospital? It's not even capitalized. She thought she'd be a treasure, but blah blah blah. Miss Bechtel is a young woman greatly interested in work in the home. That's nice. Father of kidnapped boy said to have paid money. Detectives working on the kidnapping of Angelo Moreno by the Black Hand believe that the father of the child has made a deal with the kidnappers by which the boy is to be returned, and today Little Italy is in a fever of expectancy awaiting the return. The father denied that he had any dealings with the Black Handers, but later he refused to talk with the police and detectives. A letter from the Black Hand yesterday said the child would be killed today if the ransom of $5,000 was not forthcoming. Does anyone know what the Black Hand is? Is this like a major part of American history that I'm like forgetting? Sounds cool. Okay, dilatory, you know, just business stuff. This guy who's wanted on the charge of having murdered his wife, whose headless body was found in a sewer. Police give up search. Okay. Well, this guy was black, and they say he murdered his white wife. But they gave up the search, so it's not like they're that committed to it, really. The boiler on the Rhine steamer Gutenberg exploded today, killing 2 of the crew and injuring the captain and several passengers. A French aviator today broke the record for a single long-distance flight, making 496 miles in 5 hours and 50 minutes. Wow. Airplanes, guys. Crazy. Do we have anything on our card? I might have given this progress, but we don't have progress on our card, so. Oh, we do have strike, though. Were any of these things talking about strikes? Emperor Matsuhito thanks President Taft. Welcome. Award accorded Admiral Togo, and your expressions of goodwill to him have deeply touched me. Okay, cool. Good relationships with Japan, I guess. Yeah, this is... The committee disagreed as to the power solutions to investigate the campaign contributions of the Steel Trust. Stanley and other members differ. Interesting. So the Steel Committee is giving contributions to Taft's campaign, I guess? Jury of women tried out in San Francisco. Women do not make good jurors. This is the opinion of Judge Graham of the Superior Court here today, after he had impaneled a jury of 12 women to help him decide a divorce case in which both parents asked the custody of the children. The jury disagreed and expressed opinions of each other in unfettered language. The court dismissed the jury and later expressed the opinion that the jury had been packed by both parents. I feel like for this initial statement, we will give sexism. And again, it's sexism, not misogyny, because we will take it both ways. But usually in these old papers, it's typically against women, but not guaranteed, so we'll leave it open. But okay, so we do have some sexism here. Oh, we did have a murder. That guy murdered his, well, someone murdered the wife. She ended up beheaded in the sewers, so we will mark a murder. Okay. Nothing yet. We haven't gotten to the ads. We have a lot of like ads here. Picture of hat, picture of shoe, of course, our classic furniture ad. So a lot of ad ice cream, a lot of ad situation. Yeah, let's go. We got some it is angry sexism. And murder with no exclamation. No further descriptors. I'll leave you to decide how you feel about the murder yourself. It's up for debate. Strike, though, this is an excited strike, just to be clear. Or angry. If you take it from the point of view of the striking workers, then it can also be an angry exclamation mark. Yeah, let's go sexism. Not in a good way. Exactly. Yes, hype. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of these we're looking at ads. So we'll wait until we get to the ad papers. Typically they don't start the first page, so let's go back. Our bingo's going well so far. This is... Man, sometimes I hate newspaper writing. Like, there's no verb in this whole sentence. A son is like the subject. The rest of this is all adverbial, indirect objects, and then finally you get the subject, a son. You don't even get the verb, but at least they put the subject as the title. That's fine, but... The show at the Orpheum tonight is guaranteed to be exceptionally fine. Don't miss it. Good advertising. Man, more Taft. Taft, they're talking about him a lot. He's busy. Sunday school picnic will happen. Child takes poison, is dead. Age 20 months, swallowed strychnine and belladonna tablets last night and died today, despite the efforts of his physicians. Okay, R.I.P. Paul. Steamer wreck. Is this the... Oh, this is a different steamer than the one we read over here. These are different ones. The French steamer foundered 5 miles off this Tarifa in the Strait of Gibraltar. 93 passengers of the ship's crew were drowned. Passengers and members of the ship's crew were drowned. That's a shame. Lorimer committee take vacation. Okay. This is not super exciting. Flea's nest to be eyesore no longer. Toward property at park band concerts. Will also be paid for out of the public funds for the remainder of the year. Okay. I'm not really sure I understand what the Flea's Nest is. Which has marred the beauty of the city park entrance for years, will be abolished. And for the balance of the year, city funds will be used for the purpose of securing the continuance of free public park concerts as a result of action taken by the council at the regular meeting held Tuesday evening. Nothing else of any great importance was transacted at the meeting. Cool, thanks. The article continues for quite a while, though. A resolution to construct cement sidewalks, curbs, and gutters on South Mulberry Street from 7th Street to 9th Street was given its 3rd reading and adopted. Wow, how exciting. It still goes, though. It's still going on. Nothing else of importance. Let me talk for a long while, though, about it. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, this guy. We definitely have a murder situation here, of course. Double tragedy. Sequel to troubles of former well-known Chillicothe grocer and wife. Attempts to reconcile failed. Engraves sought to end all while children were away. 3 shots being heard by other occupants of the camp. Oh wait, see now this is where it gets interesting. They didn't tell you occupants of the camp. What are we talking about? The Association of Spiritualists. Tragedy took place in Mrs. Graves' cottage in Chesterfield camp of the Indiana Association of Spiritualists, where she was spending the summer. Graves came there from California with their 2 children, saying he was coming back to Chillicothe and asked her to come along, but she refused. She had brought suit for divorce in Cincinnati on July 22nd. Remains will be brought to this city. Okay, so what's the deal here? Anytime you get the spiritualists and stuff involved, who knows what's going to happen, right? Jealousy ended in a dual tragedy in the Chesterfield camp of the Indiana Association of Spiritualists last night when James Graves, aged 47 years, shot and killed his wife, Rosa Graves, 38, and then shot himself, falling dead in the same room where he killed his wife. Graves was a grocer at Chillicothe, Ohio, until about 2 years ago when the family began to break over domestic troubles. A year ago, he took their 16-year-old daughter and 10-year-old son and went to California. Mrs. Graves remained in Chillicothe. She was a spiritualist and confided in mediums her trouble and sought solace from them. Mrs. Graves bought a cottage in the Chesterfield camp last year. She returned to it in July and, occupying one room, rented other rooms to camp visitors. Her husband and the 2 children arrived on Thursday last en route from California to Chillicothe, where Graves told friends the family would again live. Their acquaintances in camp knew of their trouble and undertook to reconcile them. Graves remarked Tuesday afternoon he would only ask his wife one more time to return to Chillicothe with him. If she won't go, then there will be an ending to us, he declared, but his friends interpreted his remark that he would seek divorce. Oh, got it, okay. So his friends didn't think that, like, he wanted, the whole point was a divorce, but that there will be an ending to us. His friends thought he meant divorce by that, instead of a murder-suicide. Understandable. While the daughter was out driving and the son had gone to the camp grocery last night, Graves seemed to have sought the chance for his final demand and evidently was refused. There were no witnesses to the killing, but others in camp heard 3 shots and, rushing into the Graves cottage, found the husband and wife dead. The tragedy struck terror to the campers, broke up seances, and all the night events were called off. Oh my gosh, he disturbed the seances, guys! You can't do that! People are talking. The ghosts put a lot of effort to talk to people. The bodies were removed from the camp to Daleville, Indiana, 2 miles east, and will be forwarded from there to, because it's forward the bodies. Yeah, just, reply all. Just don't, make sure you don't reply all the bodies. You don't want to send the bodies to everyone. But you can forward them, I suppose, to Chillicothe after the coroner's inquest today. The children remained in camp last night. Are they gonna talk to us? I want to know, like, because usually a lot of times with these things, the spiritualist aspect, like, is part of the strain on the relationship in some way. Like, it starts out with their relationship is bad, but then a lot of times, like, the woman will go to, like, a spiritualist and, like, they will, just like in a lot of piece stuff today, a lot of the people are, like, really sketchy and, really, like, kind of manipulative, and they'll, I don't know, like, I don't know, I've read some stories like these before in old newspapers, and a lot of times they will, like, I don't know, they're like really weird about it, the way they, like, cling to the spiritualism and, like, the mediums and the psychics they go to. And sometimes, like, they'll believe the psychic. The psychic will be like, your husband cheated on you, and then they'll be like, you cheated on me, and like, the guy very likely didn't, but they're gonna listen to the psychic. Okay. The news of the tragedy in which both James Graves, a former well-known Chillicothe grocer, and his wife, who was formerly Miss Rosa Giltz of the city, met their death, came as a shock to the relatives and friends, blah, blah, blah. On July 22nd, Miss Graves brought suit in the Common Pleas Court of Hamilton County asking for a divorce. In her petition, she alleged that her home was in Cincinnati, although she spent her summers at the Chesterfield camp of Indiana Spiritualist Association. Typo on spiritualist lists. Spiritualists. At the time, Mr. Graves was in the West upon a prospecting tour. Oh, he's doing some good old-fashioned prospecting. The cause of the estrangement between the couple appears to have been Mrs. Graves' association with the spiritualist cult, which began several years ago. See, a lot of times that, like, even if it's not the initial thing, like, the husband, like, very well might have done something. And this is not to, like, blame the wife in these situations. They're kind of a victim as well. It's kind of the spiritualists and these mediums that take advantage of people. And a lot of times they, like, target, I forget all the information I read before about it, but they will target like, wives who are going through things with their husbands because they're more vulnerable. So can't really speak for the Indiana Spiritualist Association specifically, but I've seen a lot of others from this time period do that, and it's, like, super sketchy. And a lot of times it's individual psychic mediums, not, like, an association or, like, a specific cult, but seems to be what we have going here. Finally, when it developed that they could no longer live together, Mrs. Graves left her husband and went to Indiana. Graves sold out his grocery store and went to the West. He was expected back home in a few days. When seen this morning, a relative of Mrs. Graves stated that she had been disowned by her family 17 years ago at the time of her what marriage. Oh, okay. Mr. and Mrs. Graves were married in 1894 and resided there until their separation. Until the wife's adherence and the husband's objections to her associations with the spiritualists reached an acute stage, they lived happily together, and their two children were born to them. Mr. Graves is survived by 4 brothers and 3 sisters. Let's see. A few days ago, a deed for the home of the unfortunate couple in the city from Mrs. Graves to her husband was filed in the recorder's office in the city, Mrs. Graves having given up the property in her desire to separate herself from her husband. The house is worth about $1,500 and has a $1,000 mortgage upon it. That house was worth $1,500. That's right, $1,500 was the price of this house. That is not how much most houses are worth these days. Those who knew Graves say that despite their differences of opinion which proved so blighting to their happiness, Mr. Graves was passionately fond of his wife and attributed his act to his desperation at the prospect of being divorced by her. He was well liked by all who knew him, and the news of the tragedy came as a surprise to his friends in the city. Okay. Adestia is asking for divorce because her husband is an alcoholic and is habitually drunk and grossly neglects his duty. They have 2 adult children. Mary Howe asked to divorce her husband, saying that he beats her. He fails to provide for her. The plaintiff about 2 years ago brought a suit for a divorce, but at the time it was refused by the court and the petition dismissed. So he beat her 4 years ago. 2 years ago she tried to divorce him, but it was dismissed. That's unfortunate. Okay, we have a couple of things that we missed up here in these middle columns, but that was crazy with the spiritualist. I don't know, do we have on our card? No, we don't have magic on our card, unfortunately. Yeah, nothing. The magic is one of the squares that is out there and available. Okay. Back to the paper. Typhoid. City water is good though, so don't worry. Game tomorrow. Is this baseball? We might have a baseball situation on our hands. Hold on a second, I'll look it up. Chillicothe Cubs were a minor league baseball team. One of the baseball teams was the Chillicothe Infants? What a weird... Oh, it's a minor... Well... Still kind of weird. Okay, League Park. Okay, great. Alright. 'Cause, 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 'c Oh, I guess I should go back to the bingo card. My bad. Hold on. So we do baseball in a coveted corner position. That is baseball. Baseball confirmed. So there we go. We got ourselves a baseball. All we need is science. All we need is science for a bingo. Can be done. Can be done. David Gillenwater arrested for carrying a gun. He was a half-witted youth who cremated his little sister at his home near Stony Creek about 6 years ago, is now confined at the city prison, awaiting trial on a charge of carrying concealed weapons. What? What? He applied to the police authorities for a night's lodging. Okay, he had a revolver. Has for some time past been working at the Sears and Nichols canning factory. Trouble occurred. Lancaster Boys Industrial School following the death of his little sister, for which he was held responsible, and was later committed to the state home for feeble-minded, from which place he was recently released. Okay, so I mean, go easy on him. If he's like, if he has like a mental disability, or if he's like, you know, go easy. Yep, we got our baseball. It was a sneaky baseball too. No explicit mentions of baseball. You had to just use your brain to deduce it. There's gonna be a picnic. There will be good music and other amusements and refreshments on the grounds. All are invited to come and enjoy the day. That's so nice. Another picnic. They're all church picnics though, so watch out. There will be a ball game. This is the same ball game they're talking about down below, but now it is explicitly mentioned. There will be a ball game at 2:30 o'clock. Hear that? At 2:30 o'clock. Be there at League Park between the Xenia Professionals and the Chillicothe Cubs. Funeral. Miss Murphy had a funeral. Mr. Sexauer. That's a name. Had a funeral. Umstead Farm, purchased by Dunlap and Umstead. It's already Umstead Farm. Why did Umstead need to purchase it? Okay. Okay. That's our front page. That is our front page. A very beneficial front page from the bingo stance. Bathroom fixtures. Oops, didn't mean to zoom in. We might give this picture furniture. Hold on, we'll kind of zoom out here. Pianos. I don't think we have pianos on this card, but there is a square that is pianos. Okay, we definitely have furniture ads. And I would argue definitely this is, I'd say, is a picture of furniture. It's like a large appliance, but I'll say large appliance is furniture. Like, I don't know if like a lawnmower is furniture or like a soap holder is furniture. That might be a bit of a stretch, but I'll say a gas range, this big stove situation, that counts as furniture. It's like a piece. Okay. Go back to our bingo card. We have our furniture ad. Now that we're off of the first page, we're getting to the advertisements. Oh, I did have a what. I didn't realize what was on this card. I did say what about the guy cremating his younger sister. So that gets a what. What is a little bit out in the open. Either it's incomprehensible to understand what they're saying, or it just makes you say, what? Different from a WTF though. Different levels of whatness. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all for now. Go back to our... Okay. A lot of soap. What's up with all the soap? We have soap up here. Interesting that it's with like a little phonograph type of situation. Some type of music player. Cockney's Fly Knocker. Note the contrast between the two illustrations. Use conkies. I don't know why I keep wanting to put the N after. It's like, I want to say like Cockney, but it's obviously not. Use Conky's knocker. Oh, that's probably why I want to, I don't know. When you go driving, you will not have to be pulling your lines from under your horse's tail over half the time. Besides, think how the horse must feel. Why is this upside down? Even the text is upside down. Why is this upside down? Is that intentional? I'm kind of confused, but it's fine. Okay, then we have our ranges, pills. Get Chichester pills. You are growing younger, mother. Ah, banish those gray hairs. Kill the dandruff germs. Those dandruff germs. Stop hair falling. It's a cow. Yeah, good catch, good catch. That's definitely not a horse. I guess it's probably good for cows and horses. I'm not entirely certain what the point is. I don't know what the problem is that they're addressing. I mean, unless you like, you know, for getting animals, but I don't understand the thing with the, like, I understand, like, you know, not having flies bother your large animals, but I'm not sure pulling your lines from under the horse's tail over half the time when you're driving. Is it because the horse is swatting its tail around at the flies, and then it gets caught in the reins in the lead for the horse? I don't know. Gazette want ads pay. Oh, Gazette want ads pay. They pay off. Got it. A little confused on the syntax there for a second. We're good. Wyeth's Sage and Sulfur hair remedy. Ah, we don't have elixirs, but I would have given this an elixir if it were on our card. Dandruff cured. Restore faded and gray hair to natural. Is it dandruff or is it gray hair? Those are two different things. Gray hair on a bald head. So now you do have gray hair? Wait, we need to investigate. For 2 or 3 years, my hair had been falling out and getting quite thin until the top of my head was entirely bald. About 4 months ago, I commenced using Sage and Sulfur. The first bottle seemed to do some good, and I kept using it regularly until now I have used 4 bottles. The whole top of my head is fairly covered and keeps coming in thicker. I shall keep on using it a while longer, as I notice a constant improvement. Stephen Bacon from Rochester, New York. Okay. Oh, grew hair. I misread that. That's why I was like, where's the gray? Okay, gray hair restored. Oh, the gray hair is restored to a different color. Not the gray is restored now. Okay. That's Miss E.A. Ross from Pennsylvania. Okay. You run no risk, unless it makes all your hair fall out because it's bad. If your druggist does not keep it, send us the price and stamps, and we will send you a large bottle, express prepaid. 50 cents and $1 a bottle at all druggists. Is that $1.50 or does it mean it comes in 2 sizes? Banning pianos and player pianos. Again, we don't have piano on our card, but it is a square that we're missing out on. Miss Frida Ludman, public stenographer and typist. Okay, hire her. Smith hats. Oh, but we don't have a picture of a hat, but this is a hat. We do have our hat ad. Maybe we do have seasonal styles. We don't see that listed here. Shoemaker's feed for chickens. All kinds of feed and hay for poultry and cattle. Okay. we'll get to these articles in a second. We'll look at the ads first. Qatar. I don't think we have Qatar on our card. Let us look. No. We do not have Qatar on our card, unfortunately. I thought about putting Qatar as the middle square, but then I was like, you know what? Furniture ads are definitely more common and like guaranteed. Qatar is like a 99% chance, but if it's not a 100, I don't want it in the middle square, right? That's meant as a free space, but that you have to earn. Okay. Water your lawn and flowers. Right, and then we have our lawnmower, our bucket, our bathroom fixtures. Okay. Children cry for Fletcher's Castoria. What is it though? Okay. Peace treaties give Hague tribunal powers. More Taft. Man, Taft is a busy man. We don't really get these other presidents showing up all the time. Interesting. A lot of stuff going on. We're looking at, this is 1911, so we're a few years ahead of World War I. So this is the drama and tension leading up to it, I suppose. Okay. Deeds, not words. Chillicothe people have absolute proof of deeds at home. It's not proof, but deeds that prove true merit. The deeds of Doan's kidney pills. For Chillicothe kidney sufferers. What? This. Oh my gosh, that's so sneaky. This is an ad. But it looks like an article. So it looks like they're just reporting the facts. But it is an ad. They wrote it like an article. Like they only have one dude talking about this. William Hansel. They have one testimony. Remember the name, Doan's, and take no other. Wow. This is an ad. That is so sneaky. Everyone else has their ads look like advertisements, and you're like, oh, they're trying to sell me something. This one, they're like, oh, we're not trying to sell you anything. We are not. In fact, we are just reporting the facts that we are the best kidney pills, and you should not, under any circumstance, and any other circumstances, take any other kidney pills, and please take ours. This is facts. Hard-hitting facts, reporters, printing, just the facts, just truth. Wow, that is so sneaky. I'm kind of surprised the paper allowed it. I feel like today, you can't, I feel like they probably won't print ads that look like articles and that are passed off. But to a certain extent, I mean, I guess they just must have known, and been familiar enough with science. Oh, this isn't science. This isn't real science. If anything, it would be like an elixir. I don't trust these kidney pills. They're just making it try to seem like science, but it's not. They're lying. It's all lies. Okay, this is more the article about political drama, international politics. I'm just see, because the headline and everything, it's the same as this. They just must be familiar with what the layout of the paper is, I guess. I mean, obviously they read the paper, so so just made their ad look like it, I guess. Wow, it's better than putting the cow upside down. Man, I don't really know. This is okay. This looks like the most boring article ever. Eola, Kansas. wins fame with women on street gang. This sounds like a girl power, which we don't have that square, but it's looking promising. They're up in city officials, with the exception of Municipal Judge Smeltzer, are up in arms because a woman has been sentenced to don a pair of bloomers and join the street gang from the city jail. Oh, okay, never mind. This is street gang. These are prisoners. Got it. My bad. That doesn't sound like girl power at all. Are you gonna go sleep now? Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by and chatting, Grim. See you later. Have a good night. Okay. Judge Smeltzer Monday sentenced Mrs. Ella Reese to the street gang and ordered that the city officials provide her with bloomers. Street Commissioner Glynn refused to have a woman in the chain gang. Mrs. Reese did not go to work breaking rock or sweeping the streets today because the bloomers had not been provided, and the officials say they will not allow the woman to carry out the sentence imposed upon her. During Tuesday, the city commissioners, Mayor Bollinger and Mr. Glynn, pored over the statutes in an effort to find some law that would invalidate the sentence. They failed. Judge Smeltzer insists that Mrs. Reese must work upon the streets as ordered by him. At this point, he's kind of like, I understand, like, because there's no real reason why she shouldn't. You know, like, from a feminist perspective, like, it is equal punishment, I guess. Like, it's kind of fair. It is a little bit questionable, though, because the bloomers do make her a bit of a spectacle and a bit of, like, attract sexual attention to her. And this is out in public. So, like, that's not really an equal punishment. And I also just kind of feel like I'm starting to question Judge Smeltzer's, like, motivations here. Like, why does he want to see her in bloomers so bad? It's creepy. Finding no law to aid them, the city officials are attempting to compromise. One suggests that Mrs. Reese be made to darn the socks and mend the clothing of the other prisoners. Yeah, at this point, like, it's like not... It feels like there's other things going on. It's a little creepy. This guy died. His iron constitution and courageous resistance, typo and courageous there, backed by every resource of medical science, failed to save Mr. Gates. He had battled heroically for weeks with the disease of the kidneys. He should have taken those kidney pills down here. Did he try those? Dawn's kidney pills, or Doan's, whatever. Should have tried those. And when it was believed that he was almost sure to recover, contracted pneumonia. Oh no, it was the pneumonia that got him. Several times he was reported to be at the point of death, but rallied with the aid of powerful stimulants, probably like Doan's kidney pills. Pneumonia and kidney trouble had ameliorated somewhat on Monday, but early Tuesday morning there was a recurrence of the congestion of the kidneys, which was followed by a further attack Tuesday afternoon. Oh man, it was the pneumonia and the kidneys combined together. I don't know, was he taking his kidney pills? Really? It's really important. What are these pills even for, by the way? Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm just looking at these and I'm like, are they related? But you know what? I don't know. I was like, are these more kidney pills? But I can't actually tell what those are. We'll look in a second. Removes in his prime one of the boldest and most successful American financiers and a picturesque figure in the field of sports. A picturesque figure in the field of sports. What does that phrase even mean? He was a picturesque figure in the field of sports. Is that a metaphor for seeing a picturesque figure standing in a field, but instead of a physical field with like wildflowers, they're imagining the like field as in a subject, an area? Or do they mean on the sports field? Like on the like soccer field, on the football field? Is that what they mean? I'm not even sure what they even mean. Since 1880, when he organized the Southern Wire Company, Mr. Gates had been a man with whom it was necessary to reckon in the particular industrial affairs to which he had given his attention. In recent years, he found relaxation from business cares and becoming a prominent patron of the American turf. Mr. Gates began his business career as proprietor of a hardware store at Turner Junction, Illinois, near the farm where he was born. His parents were these people, blah, 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 blah. Okay, then he just worked his way through business, industrialization, and all that jazz. Okay. 30 years together. 30 years of association. Think of it. How the merit of a good thing stands out in that time, or the worthlessness of a bad one. So there's no guesswork in this evidence of this guy who said, this is another thing, it's an ad. This is another ad. All of them are, man, in Chillicothe, Ohio, they've all gotten it. This little sneaky strategy where they're just gonna make all their ads look like articles. I wonder who did it first. Was it King's New Discovery? Or was it Dode's kidney pills? Here's another one, a little one, but it's like a little, like, you know, just a little blurb, just a little beat. Anyway, I want to look closer at whatever this says. Zoom, enhance. What is this for? Chichester's pills, the Diamond brand. Ladies, ask your druggist for Chichester's. What? Chichester's. Just so the ladies can pronounce it, because ladies, they don't have the brains in their heads. They can't read. We'll sound it out for you. Diamond brand pills in red and gold metallic boxes sealed with blue ribbon. Take no other. I hate how they keep saying take no other. It's like kind of a weird thing in an ad. Buy of your druggist. Ask for Chichester's Diamond brand pills for 25 years, known as best, safest, always reliable, sold by druggists everywhere. For what? Just for ladies? What are they for? What's the problem? Just take the pills? Don't question it, just do it. It's not even an ask your doctor, it's ask your druggist. Just go into the pharmacy and ask for these pills. What are they supposed to do? What do they cure? How do they make ladies' lives better? What? I don't, yeah. Man, the pharmaceuticals in these papers are wild. It's crazy to see how far they've come today. Okay, next page. Sporting news. Oh, we didn't have baseball before. Now's the time. Here's all the stats. In case you care about the Ohio State League from 1911. Now you know. Here's another thing. Parker's hair balsam. Okay, so here's the thing. Is that when it comes now, and we don't have elixir, but I just want to kind of state this. I am way more inclined to believe that a medical thing was like made in good faith, right? Like, and that's kind of like the difference. The elixir is, you know, a thing that is meant as a scam. It is, they put pretty sparkly things in a bottle and tell you to rub it on your face or something like that, right? Like, it's meant as a scam. Now, this stuff, honey and tar compound, like, the honey is good for throats and stuff and potentially for coughs and things. So, like I don't know about the tar, I'm less familiar with tar, but, like, this feels like it's made in good faith, right? And so a lot of the, even, like, the kidney pills and stuff, I am more likely to believe, unless they're like very clear, they're like, oh, we'll cure literally everything. Then yeah, then I kind of doubt it. Or those Chichester pills for ladies. For what? I don't know. Like that sort of stuff, I'll say that's an elixir. But But things like this like feels like they're working in good faith, right? Like medicine wasn't all that great 100 years ago. Like we've come a long way. Obviously our medicine now is way more effective. So like if you take Foley's honey and tar compound today, it might feel like a scam. It might feel like what I'm calling an elixir. But I'd argue it was probably made in good faith at the time and is, you know, they're trying their best. However, Parker's hair balsam. Cleanses and beautifies the hair, promotes a luxuriant growth, never fails to restore gray hair to its youthful color, cures scalp diseases and hair failing, whatever. This is an elixir because a lot of times I feel they target like beauty stuff, which still happens today. It's just harder to tell today because a lot of products are a little bit better hiding it. And it's also, I feel like there's too many levels to some of these companies. The companies are too big that it's kind of hard to see when it's kind of meant as completely fake. But this, for instance, like look at all the things, look at everything that it says it's going to do. It's not going to do all those things, and they know it's not going to do all of those things. They have tested it, and they are sure that it does not do those things. Like today, a lot of hair products are like meant to do one or two things, and it's hard to necessarily say they're a scam because they might in fact work for different hairstyles, right? Like, so it just really depends on what type of hair you have and what your hair needs, and you know, so a lot of these products do work for someone, just maybe not you. But this, it definitely doesn't do all these things. It promises too much, and that's what the definite elixir is, when they promise too many things. Now we don't have elixir on this card, but just for future reference, that's what I mean when I say elixir. Bank, porch furniture and refrigerators. Yes, those things go together. Pieces of porch furniture, typo, and all refrigerators. We must make room for new fall goods. Okay. Vaginal syringe? What? That looks awful. No thanks. Okay. Right, we have more baseball. Why'd they put it on the page with all the baseball? Girls aren't reading about baseball. I mean, they might be, but in that time period, I'm kind of assuming they're not, like, the primary demographic for sporting news. Maybe they are, though. Don't argue, come to us. What's the use of arguing the matter? Well, oops, we'll go here. I just feel like reading it. It sounds interestingly written, so we will. What's the use of arguing the matter? Why not call on us and settle that house problem? We can satisfy you in a few minutes, and all the fuss and worry will be done away with. Call us and let us talk the house problem over. We've got just what you want. Some nice cozy cottages running. Okay, so they are. Okay, so they are. Okay, this is a couple arguing about if they should buy the house. Got it. I was a little confused for a second there. Grand Union Hotel in New York City. Picture of a shoe. We have a picture of a shoe. There we go. Picture of a shoe. That is a slot on today's bingo card. So there we have it. Picture of a shoe. Success. Okay. We gotta look for season styles as well. Sometimes you'll see those on the shoe ads, but we don't have it here. Clothing. Last sale of the season. We don't have summer styles though. We have summer goods, but we don't have summer. It needs to be styles. Talk about styles. Boy suits. Clothing company, okay. ordinance, which sounds awful to read about. Snowbank flour is made from the best wheat that money will purchase by millers. Robin's poultry feed is an ideal food for chickens of all ages. What are they selling? Oh, I guess it's just A.L. Robbins, and they're selling flour, poultry feed, and insect exterminator. Okay. They're selling a bunch of things. Foley's kidney pills. They are also making it look like an article. It's so interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this before in other papers. Oops, I forgot to switch it back. My bad. You missed everything. Okay, we didn't have styles. This was our ordinance. This is they're selling flour, poultry, insect exterminator. And then here is another Foley's kidney pills. Again, it looks like an article. I have never seen this in other papers, at least that I can recall, or maybe I just didn't notice it. But this is like, seems to be a really common thing. I don't know if it's just this paper, if it's an Ohio thing, if it's this time period. It's really interesting. The more of these we do, the more we'll see. This is another one for a medicine. Chamberlain's stomach and liver tablets. We saw Chamberlain's before, I think, for a different medicine. This is more baseball stuff. Saucepan. Another Doan's. Okay, Doan's again, but not their kidney pills. This is their ointment. Doan's Regulates. Don't get constipation. So weird. Maybe it's the way the paper does it. Maybe it's just this paper likes to run a lot of their ads as articles. So weird. Okay. Next page. Nothing really on that page. Hats. We have a picture. We have some more shoes though. More shoes. Hold on. We needed a picture of a hat, but we don't have one. Let's start over on this side. We're kind of. I always jump to them. And I kind of just go crazy reading everything, but we gotta take our time. Okay. Every man is as lazy as he dares to be. Emerson. Ralph Waldo Emerson, perhaps? A well-known writer describing municipal politics in one of our large cities says that it is ruled by a dynasty which has held its power by all the familiar tricks, from persuading outcasts at election time to favoring bankers with city funds. See, when people say we're living in dark times these days, like this is the same stuff. It's not, we haven't changed. It's not new. It's not new. Which is why it's almost more tiring that you have, like, all the, like, poor election practices and stuff like that. Because, people act like it's new in order to blame the current people in power for creating these problems. But in fact, it's worse. It's been, they know they didn't create it, but they are upholding it, and it's been around for a long time. It should be fixed by now. Anyway, by maintaining the old alliance between the rat and the wolf, the dissolute little people of the vice district and the respectable big people of the public service corporations. Or the rat and the wolf. Okay, yeah, the people of the vice district are the rat, and then the big people are the wolf. I guess. Does not some such combination dominate municipal politics in small as well as in large cities? Is not the real issue almost always between just some such bunch of talent and the common people? I'm not really sure what they're getting at. Okay, these are the people who came to town. That's cool. Lunch boxes. Oh look, vacuum bottle. What? Okay, hold on. Well, there's the thermos. Wow. Okay. These are vacations you can go on. Constipation. Again, this one looks a little bit more advertisement-y. I think because like the kind of curliness of the font they used for the headline there. What is this? The lance. They're still using lance. I guess so. They still have cavalry back then. Huh. Many military experts have derided, probably, the lance at derid. Oh, I think we'd say derided. Maybe. Do we? I think it's a cavalry weapon. Asserting that... Yeah, it's probably an ED missing here, because there's a T here. Asserting that it is old-fashioned and cumbersome. But there are those who still believe in shock tactics and the cavalry charges. In Germany especially, the lance in the hands of the Prussian Uhlans remains a formidable weapon. It recently has been pointed out, however, that the lance point often makes too deep wounds for the shaft to be withdrawn quickly, and so the lancer runs the risk of having it wrenched from his grasp in the charge, according to the cavalry, blah, blah, blah. Interesting. Maybe a little, another painkiller thing, another article about an ad. Chicago Cubs, blah, blah, blah. What? Oh, ball players off the field. So this is... Oh. So they're trying to check and see what, like, baseball players are doing when they're not playing baseball. I guess. Let's read. I'm actually kind of intrigued. One day I was making a long jump with the Chicago Cubs. From curiosity, I went through the car to see how the men were occupying their time. Doc Marshall had a work on dental surgery, which he was discussing with pitcher Andy Coakley, also a dentist. Oh, so they're dentists and also professional baseball players? That's cool. Lundgren, a pitcher, was explaining a system of ensilage to Chick Frazier. Chance and Kling were the only two talking baseball. A poker game occupied 5 players. 2 were asleep, and 2 with their wives were playing bridge. Rulebach was reading a work on chemistry. Slagle was reading a novel, and Scheckerd and Steinfeld were discussing the relative merits of Texas and Pennsylvania. Pat Morin, a devout Roman Catholic, was arguing earnestly with a reporter who for 5 years had been working on a history of the Children's Crusades. Moran, probably, beyond being something of a student of Irish art, music, and traditional history, is one of the best posted breeders of Boston Bull Terriers in the country. Far back in the corner of the car, Johnny Evers was absorbed in reading the lifetimes and teachings of Savonarola. Okay, that's cool. That's what the baseball players were doing when they were traveling, but not actively playing baseball in their downtime. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I'm gonna take a drink though. Okay. Oh no, where'd the music? Okay. Where's the music going? Where'd the music go? Okay. Anyway. Well, it'll come back. It'll cut on and off, clearly. Okay. Probability of much night fighting in future wars gives added value to the new gray uniform of the German soldiers. While this attire proved its superior invisibility at the recent maneuvers during the daytime, it was in the night fighting that its effectiveness was best demonstrated. In daylight, men engaged in patrol duty and security service was unseen by the enemy, but those in dark blue in the hostile forces at once drew their fire. Numerous fights took place at night with searchlights, and then it was found that the gray was universally appreciated. Troops wearing the old uniform were clearly visible. What color was it, though? I'm not familiar. Troops wearing the old uniform were clearly visible on the ground, even when lying down, while those in gray were extremely difficult to discover, even when in close order. It is obvious that any color harmonizing with the paleness of artificial nightlight will be more effective as a shield from detection. It has been estimated that if one of the combatants at Port Arthur during the Manchurian War had had the German type of gray uniform, it would have had a decided advantage over its adversary in the continued night fighting that occurred around that fortress. Interesting. Found guilty. This guy was guilty of stealing a copper kettle. Breaking news. This is more of the people coming to town. This is more about the Lance. The lottery in Prague. Lottery for military charity fund. Oh, okay, they're raising money. This guy has a book. We haven't seen any puns, have we? I don't think so. Alright, so I just realized we do a pun on our card, but I don't think we've seen any puns. I don't think. They do like their puns though, so I'm kind of surprised if we haven't seen any. Okay, that's a stupid story. Another legal notice, boring. John W. Gates, is that the guy who died in Paris? From the kidney problems? Senate adjourns out of respect. Senator William Fry of Maine, who died yesterday afternoon. The Senate adjourned this morning after having met for a session of only a few minutes. Huh, okay. How old was he? Just curious. They're not giving the age. Interesting. Okay. Baking powder. Farms. You can buy all these farms. Alright. Deodorizers. Sure. Icy Hot. The king of vacuum bottles. It costs no more than the ordinary. So this Icy Hot is just kind of referencing, I guess. Or maybe it is called Icy... No, Icy Hot. Okay, so this is Icy Hot, a brand. But it has to do with thermoses. Is this the same Icy Hot of later fame? Hot 24 hours, cold for 3 days. That's way more than my current thermos promises. So I don't know. No chemicals, no bother. Just fill bottle and cork it. Okay. And a lunch style. Or lunch box. Sorry, I don't know. I'm reading the styles here. Interesting. These people are selling sand and gravel. Kind of nice for people who want sand and gravel. Oh, underneath farms for sale. That's kind of a good one there. Men's fine dress Oxfords. No seasonal styles. Look here! The name of the best whiskey for the price. Bottle, okay. Green Mill whiskey, okay. And then we have our hats, but no pictures of hats, which does us no good. 5. How many pages is this paper? Oh wow, it's a big paper, okay. The senator died, we already read that. A fish fry. Blah, blah, blah. People visiting people. This person going to Germany. Cornflakes. Kellogg's. Wow. Look at that. I know them. I know Kellogg's toasted cornflakes. Wow. Wait, it's kind of funny. I actually hadn't read this when I said I know them. When you first meet Kellogg's, it's yours for life. It's a wedding... I'm not actually sure I really... Oh, okay, that's why it's a wedding breakfast. When you first meet it, it's yours for life. Tempted to mark pun. Imagine seeing you here. That's the feeling, yeah. It's like, what are you doing in 1911? Kellogg's cornflakes, what are you doing in 1911? I mean, I obviously know they're around at that point, but it's just so kind of like, oh, shocker. Haven't seen them before here. None genuine without this signature. Do they use the signature today? Or is it like part of their logo? Because this K looks like the K. Man, they've been going off of that signature for a long time. Is it? I guess it is. Wow, okay, so it's W. Is that W.K. Kellogg signature? Well, I never knew that. It was like browsing old-timey newspapers. Eat cornflakes, Sal. Yeah, that'd be spooky. That'd be spooky, definitely. I wouldn't really like that. I don't know if it would make me eat cornflakes though or not. You know, on the one hand, it'd be like, it's an easy thing to do of the demons asking, you know, like, sure, I'll do it. Like, eat cornflakes or die. It's like, okay, I'll eat them. I don't dislike them, but if the demons want you to eat cornflakes, then, you know, I don't know if you should. The cow puncher. What? A strong Western subject full of hair-raising incidents will keep you enthralled from beginning to end. This is a clay thing. No milk. You know, I'll eat them if the alternative is dying, but you know, I won't be happy about it. Wait, I like these. Okay, we'll keep you through. Okay, this one seems fine. Besides the name being the cow puncher, which is a little strange. The Minute and the Maid, a Reliance projection. All your favorite actors in this great picture, a fine subject, which is a weird ad. Instead of naming the actors, they're like, just who's in it? All your favorites. All your favorites. Don't worry about it. All your favorites. Trust me. Tale of Ebon Tints. An uproariously funny comedy subject, full of good homely lessons. Good homely lessons. Who wants to see good homely lessons in their comedy film? It's uproariously funny, but it's also got good homely lessons. It's acted by Daniels, Portier, and other equally fine stars. And other people, just as good as those, but not ones we're gonna name or anything like that, so, you know. But they're just as good. 600 God seats. That's not a phrase we use today, is it? We don't call anything God seats. 600 God seats, all near big windows and electric fans. This is the show you can't afford to miss. Okay. Corsets. New fall models just received. I think I will give it for fall styles. I think I will give this fall models. Partly, I don't know. I'll think about it. How does it look on our card? Okay, if it gets down to this one, we will mark it for the corsets. But we won't yet, because it's not really gonna make a difference quite yet anyway, so. Okay, moving on. Qatar Cure. Again, another ad that looks like an article. It's really interesting also for the paper, because it really means it looks like they have more subjects, like, more substance, right? It looks like they have a ton of news stories. But they don't. It's actually way more ads than it seems to be on first appearance, when they make all their ads look like news articles. So it's actually good for the paper, and it's also good for, obviously, the people who are advertising. So if depending on what they're trying to go for. If they're trying to go for grabbing people's attention, obviously this type of article isn't the best. But if they're trying to get like credibility, which a lot of the medicines I can see that might be their problem. And they put $100 reward, and they even repeated $100 twice. That's how they're grabbing people's attention. I don't know what the reward is though. There's one dreaded disease that science has been able to cure in all its stages, and that is catarrh. Okay. Oh, we have reached the jokes portion of the newspaper, I feel like. The first lady says, Mrs. Smith is too young to go shopping alone. The second lady says, what is that? The first lady says, she's liable to get excited and buy something. It's not even funny. I can trace my descent from Homer, said Lord Slady proudly. Indeed, replied Mrs. Cress, who didn't seem to be at all impressed. It is certainly a great descent. That's good. And I will say I think that might be a pun. I will give them that. Because we're talking about two uses. Or, well, yeah, I don't know. Actually, no. No pun. It's a play on words, but I'm not going to call it a pun. Because you're not really, like, changing one of the words. It's literally the same word. Close, though. It's close. And it's a very good one. This joke is way better than the shopping joke. The shopping one wasn't very good. What is this article? Hold on. Infinitesimal webs. Mexico, the land of Montezuma, prickly pears, sand, volcanoes, earthquakes, etc., has many subtropical wonders both in vegetable and animal life. Among these latter is a species of spider so minute that its legs cannot be seen without a glass. This little Aranida, I think it's usually pronounced Aranida, weaves a web so wonderfully minute. You already used minute twice. So just say small, just say little, tiny. Switch it up. That it takes 400 of them to equal a common hair of magnitude. Was this supposed to be a joke? Or fun facts? I don't know what the point of printing that was. Who paid for this? Or maybe it's not paid. Again, if it's not an ad, it could just be the paper trying to fill up space. Washington thus described his experience with portrait painters. It's in 1785. I don't know if this is true, but let's see. What did George Washington say about portrait painters? I am so hackneyed to the touches of the painter's pencil that I am now altogether at their beck and sit like patients on a monument while they are delineating the lines of my face. It is a proof among many others of what habit and custom can effect. At first I was quite impatient of the request, and as restive under the operation as a colt is of the saddle. The next time I submitted very reluctantly, but with less flouncing. Now no dray moves more readily to the thrill than I do to the painter's chair. Okay, so basically, when he started getting his portrait taken, he was very impatient and didn't like to sit there for so long. But over time, he got used to it. Cool story. We have prejudices involved in this one. Waterlogged Servians. An Englishwoman traveling in Servia thus gives a striking glimpse of her own prejudices and tastes. The Servians drink too much cold water, and they drink it till they are pulpy. Weird phrase. An average Serb drinks enough cold water for an English cow. I doubt whether the language contains an equivalent for bad training, but when I tried to explain the idea, it created surprise. A doctor told me he had never heard the theory before. To him it seemed a natural and wholesome habit. However, he added, there is plenty, and seemed to think it was rather wasteful to leave any unswallowed. To me, it explained the lack of activity. The nation is waterlogged. All day long and every day, the Serb calls for a glass of cold water, and when he has drunk it, he calls for another. Perhaps owing to this, he has little space for alcohol. At any rate, I never saw a drunken man even among the peasants. How's that a problem? Anyway, a reminder to hydrate. Everyone hydrate. Be like a Serbian and hydrate. Okay. So, reviewing this. The woman says, okay, that's why they don't, explain the lack of activity. Okay, so she's like, they're not very efficient workers, is what I'm getting from that, because they're waterlogged. They just drink so much water, they just are all feeling sloshy and blech all day. Fine. But now she's saying they drink so much water that they don't even have room for alcohol anymore. She never saw any drunk people. Like, is there a certain quota of drunk people you're supposed to see? Somewhat out and about? Do you have to drink alcohol? What is this? This is a weird article. I don't know if I even believe it's true. New potatoes are $1.50. Did I read these? Oh yeah, I did. They're just boring. Okay, right. The senator died, blah, 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 blah. Wait, how old was he? That was my, question, originally. Yeah, but how old was he when he died? How old was the senator? President McKinley! We don't even have President McKinley on our card this time, but if we did, we could have gotten 2 presidents for the price of 1 in this paper. Wow. This is a very political paper. They aren't saying how old he was. Okay, so this guy had been in jail for the past month, charged with the murder of his wife, but the coroner, after his investigation, said she wasn't poisoned, so probably didn't do it. New cartman appointed. Cool. Curious reservoirs. The use to which baobab trees are put in Africa. Huh. Let's read. This has nothing to do with news, but I want to know. People of the Kordofan province, Africa, use baobab trees as reservoirs for the scanty water of that district. The trees have to be prepared carefully for this use. The large branches are first cut off near the trunk. If this is not done, the trunk is apt to split as soon as it is hollowed out. A hole is cut in the tree, generally just above a branch, which serves as a platform for the man who is filling the tree, and the interior is hollowed out. Round the bottom of the tree, a shallow basin some 20 or 30 feet in diameter is made, in which the rainwater collects. As soon as there is a storm, the people go out and fill their trees. The water so stored remains perfectly good until the end of the next hot weather or even longer. A few trees, naturally hollow, have a hole at the top between the branches and fill themselves, the branches catching water and acting as gutters. These are called lagai and are highly valued. The system gives a cistern 20 feet high from a blah 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 blah, filling the trees. Owing to the labor involved in preparing and filling the trees, water is usually bought and sold and on the main roads where there is much traffic. Okay. The bucket, called a dilwa, consists of a piece of leather suspended by strings 6 inches long from a piece of wood bent in a circle to which the rope blah 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 blah. Okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know how true it is, but it's cool nonetheless. What do we have here? Pens. A handsome pen holder free with each dozen for 10 cents. Wow. What a deal. Satisfaction in every puff. Cigars. Interesting. Interesting. We do have distinguished gentleman on our card, but I don't know if I'm going to call him a distinguished gentleman, which I know is rough because I know that is in the line where we also had the seasonal styles, and I said, we'll wait and see if we get these other things. But, so like, up around here, I don't even have that page open. Up around here, season styles and distinguished gentleman. If we get a funny animal, then maybe I'll mark both of these. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. Okay. ever presented to the good people of Chillicothe, the biggest buying opportunity. A 10-day pants sale! Look at his pants! That's actually not super flattering. Stag trousers, okay. Sure. But no seasonal styles, though. Alright, next page. Go to Niagara Falls. We dress the dressy. Ladies' tailors. Children cry for Fletcher's Castor. I saw this at the bottom as well. Did they always put this ad at the bottom, like right here? That was on a couple pages ago. August clearance sale. We don't have season styles. I swear I used to see that season styles all the time. Fall styles, the latest, summer styles. I used to, all the time when I was looking at old papers. And now they put on the bingo card, I never see it anymore. Another thing. Another medicine. Another medicine. Kidney pills. Foley's kidney remedy. We already saw that one before. This lady went home after visiting relatives. That's cool. What is this? Oh, sewing machine. Okay. Now I see it. It was hard to tell from just the picture. But now I see it. Okay. I don't know if that's gonna give us anything we're looking for. Foot medicine. Some other thing they're selling. This is a kind of funny ad. Again, disguised as an article. And again, this is where they get you. They're trying to like make it sound like it's news. Accused of stealing is the headline for their ad. Like, but E.E. Chamberlain of Clinton, Maine? Yeah, it's Maine, I believe. Yeah. Boldly accuses Buckland Arnica Salve of stealing. Accuses Buckland Arnica Salve of stealing. The sting from burns or scalds, the pain from sores of all kinds, the distress from boils or piles. How dare you steal my pain? It robs cuts, corns, bruises, sprains, and injuries of their terror, he said. As a healing remedy, its equal doesn't exist. Okay, so like, that's kind of funny, kind of cute, but again, okay, now we have another, I think we saw something for Chamberlain's cholera and diarrhea before. Again, kind of looking like an article. This one, same. This one, another Qatar. Man, like, wait, a significant portion of this page is ads that are disguised as, I mean, I guess it's still in the same chunk from like a perspective of doing layout for the paper. This whole section here, all these columns are just ads, but they definitely do look like articles. Like if you're gonna look at this page, you see ads here, in this corner, and down here, but like, this looks like news beats, but they are not. It's very sneaky. What is this? Finding against the officials. That sounds boring. Men who are in a mutiny on the ship Numenzia. Their execution followed. Ooh. I would call that a strike, but I don't think it technically is. Oh, right, and here we have more. Wait, so not all... Man, it's so weird, because, like, this is where the ads... No. This is where the ads start. So, like, these are ads, but, like, it's just such a weird... The statehood passes Senate with judiciary recall. Wow, look! Guys, New Mexico and Arizona are now states! Congratulations to New Mexico and Arizona! Good for them! If they want to be states. The bill granting statehood to New Mexico and Arizona, legislation that has been for years the dream of the people of those territories, has passed by the Senate last night, 53-18, after rejection of the Nelson Amendment, which proposed striking out of the Arizona Constitution its judicial recall provision. Interesting. The bill, as passed by the Senate, differs only slightly from the House measure, and it is said may be unsatisfactory to President Taft. He has contended all along that he would be glad to sign the statehood bill if the Nelson Amendment prevailed, but that it was a grave question whether he would be willing to sign it if the amendment was defeated, as it was by 43 to 26. What was the Nelson Amendment? The indications last night were that the bill will become a law without his signature. The Senate amended the House bill with 2 minor changes regarding the manner of voting in New Mexico on proposed amendments to its constitution. These undoubtedly will be agreed to by the House and the bill expedited to the White House. These amendments were reported by the Senate Committee on Territories and agreed to without debate. Huh. Okay. More sports. Biffs and Bingles. I'm not sure I understand. Oh, this is just more baseball. I don't know what Biffs and Bingles have to do with it, but another ad. Disguises articles. Boyland. Byland. Whoops. When it was bigger, it looked like Boyland, but it's Byland. Byland, invest your cash in real estate. Buy land. Not buy land. It's not like an amusement park. Okay. Things for land for sale. Right, we already read that. That's a travel article. Work on new bridge goes very steadily. Cool. And 9 boys now in race for state fair. Nine Ross County boys had entered the race for appointment as the boy who is to go to state. Oh, okay. So like each county, I guess, has like maybe the county fair or something, or maybe they handle it differently, and then they send like a county representative or maybe even a couple county representatives to state fair, I guess. Interesting. Wait, they're voting? Why aren't they? And race. Oh, okay. State fair appointment. Okay, got it. They just the race is an election. Got it. State fair. What? Oh, maybe a state fair like committee? Okay. Whatever. Not really that interested. Did we read everything here then? Yeah, we read all that. Okay, next page. Didn't really get a whole lot off of that page. Ohio State Fair, okay. Fireworks display. Hooray, look at that. It's a picture of it. Photo, even. It's just kind of hyping up the fireworks. I'm not going to call it science. These are buildings. People go into places. Children's cry. Yeah, children cry. We know that. Funeral director. Okay, actually, I'm gonna be right back. I need to get some more water. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. We'll go for a break because my throat kind of hurts. Let me go back to our be right back screen. Be right back. Break time. Right. Hello, we are back. All right. I've returned. And, let's see. We're gonna review our card again before we continue on. Yeah, we don't... It's not looking promising. This paper just doesn't seem to have the right vibe for ice cream or bicycles or funny animals. It's not really... I'm surprised we have any spectacles. There's always like glasses or related ads, I feel like, but not in this one. Okay. Well, back to the paper. False samples. Oh my gosh, it's so... Okay, we'll do this face cream. It's almost like ice cream, but it's not. Okay, we got a lot going on this page. Okay, we looked at the State Fair business. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to see if anything it looks like it could be science, but I don't think so. Yeah, nothing there. Okay, so then we were looking here. Electrologist removes superfluous hair, moles, warts. Eye, ear, nose, throat. Specialist, an attorney, another attorney. Okay, and this is the fall samples, which is very close to fall styles. Which we've seen a couple. I think I'll give it because we're getting two that are extremely close. We really need a famous person in glasses on a bike saying ice cream for ice cream. Yeah, that's what's necessary. But I don't know. Not sure we'll get it. Really though, what we really need. Let's go back to our bingo card here because I will mark off season styles because we're seeing things that are extremely close. I will give it. Now. Okay, I guess if we have a distinguished gentleman who is a famous person in spectacles, and I guess famous person in spectacles would give us a bingo as well. We got both of those. If we got distinguished gentleman, funny animals, 2 away from that bingo. 3 though from bicycles, distinguished gentleman, and ice cream. The ice cream is just not looking good for the ice cream. Science is the one we really need to watch out for because that's the one that gets us our bingo. So let's continue. Veterinarian. Professional cards. Oh, these are the professional cards. Got it. Oh, and there's the names of the doctors. Got it. They're all kind of the same thing. Okay, need a photograph. This is an example. A good likeness of yourself is not a luxury, it is a necessity. A time does come when your relatives and friends will hate to be without a picture of you. Induce your friends and relatives to have their picture taken. Peer pressure them into having their picture taken. A day always comes when you wish you had one. But be sure to get a lifelike picture, made with up-to-date processes and greatest care. You can rely on these things at Hathaway Art Studio. Interesting. What's the point of this picture, though? Like, what's the point of that picture? Oops, what is my computer doing? Okay. Niall's face cream with peroxide. Not greasy, not sticky. Whitens the skin. And there's nothing better for tan, sunburn, freckles, and wrinkles. Wow. How far we've come. It is spice time again. And you surely, it's almost like pumpkin spice time, but not. And you surely want to use the best to get best results in your pickling and preserving. Okay. This looks boring, whatever that is. The Great Toilet Germicide. Okay, so it's like bathroom cleaning, I assume? Can't look well, eat well, or feel well with impure blood feeding your body. Keep the blood pure with burdock blood bitters. Eat simply, take exercise, keep clean, and you will live a long life. Yeah, like those last ones are good. I don't know about the pure blood business. Yep, it's spice time already. It is indeed. Get ready for spice time. Sponsored by the Spice Girls. Window shades. Hooray. Hay fever, asthma, summer colds, Foley. Foley's needs to chill with the advertisements. Like, they don't need one on every page. Same with Chamberlain's cholera and diarrhea remedy. Attack like tigers. Talking about tiger blood? Oh my gosh, this is a tiger blood ad. This is directed to Charlie Sheen, maybe? Who knows? D with the blood bitters. What one? Where? Oh, down here. There's a B up here. I'm not entirely certain what they mean. I kind of just assumed they were like signatures. Yeah, there's another B. Oh, EOD. There's an EOD here. I wonder... There must be some sort of code. What is this? This one. This maybe might be another D, I think. It's just, you know, Babadi Babadai, you know, like from the hit song Blue. In fighting to keep the blood pure, the white corpuscles attack disease germs like tigers. Okay, we're talking about a thing that makes sense, but we're not using the right words and phrases to do so. But often germs multiply so fast, the little fighters are overcome. Then see pimples, boils, eczema, salt rheum, and sores multiply, and strength and appetite fail. It's a bit extreme. This condition demands electric bitters to regulate stomach, liver, and kidneys to expel poisons from the blood. They are the best blood purifier I have ever found. They make rich red blood, strong nerves, and build up your health. It's so weird. Yep, oh, makes sense. It is just secret code. From Eiffel. Is that Eiffel 95? Is that the name of the band? I forget. The king of all laxatives. Got it. I was like, a king who left home. This looks interesting. No, it's not. It's just laxatives. Okay. Foley's kidney pills again. Oh, because over here we saw Foley's, but this was a different... This was Foley's honey and tar compound. This is Foley's kidney pills. Take them for kidney things. As long as you have any kidney problems, you can use those. Oh, people are visiting. That's nice. I stay fair again. Okay, I think we've read everything on this page. Wait. Oh, this is more kidney pills. Oh, it's the same article for kidney pills. No, different kidney pills. We have 2 kidney pills articles. Just in case. Just in case you missed one. Oh, I did miss the modern fixtures, however. Plumbing. Got it. Okay. I think we looked at everything on this page. It's kind of a boring page. Last page of the paper. That water cooler looks weirdly modern. Wait. Look, it has a little thing. Oh my gosh. They are absolutely sanitary. That's a weird thing. 20th century bottle coolers. So modern in the 20th century. They're absolutely sanitary, which is great. Anytime anyone says that you should do or buy anything, just assure them, don't worry, it's sanitary. You should really get this video game. Don't worry, it's sanitary. They comprise an ice They comprise an ice container, a white faucet, and a bottle which contains the main supply of liquid to be dispensed. The water is surrounded by ice but never comes in contact with it. Yeah, I can't have my water and ice mixing. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they're probably getting their ice from, like, maybe dirtier places or something, you know, like, I don't know. Public ice. Like, if you're getting ice from a hotel type of thing, right? Like, you might not be like, I don't know if I trust the ice type of stuff. Let's look at what's playing today in the theater. A Stranger in Camp, in which an abused wife finds happiness in the love of a real man, not a fake man. Full of exciting situations, a story full of heart interest. It's full of heart interest. Heart interest. Sure. It's like bad AI wrote it, but in 1911. Bob's Microscope, an educational film full of good instruction, showing a good many interesting things. Don't worry, what's it about? Instruction. It's educational. It shows you a lot of things, and they're all interesting. What things? Microscope things. Man, the music's cutting out again. Love proves stronger than duty. That's a long title. Showing how the love of an officer's child proves stronger than his duty. The movie. They did it, or probably not movie. Play, I'm assuming. They definitely didn't watch it. They definitely didn't watch it. They didn't see it. They just repeated the title. Alright, you gotta go to sleep. Alright. Well, thanks for hanging out, Suyoku, and hopefully you have a good night. I'll back streaming tomorrow, so see ya. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. And a fine illustrated song. Here's a big show today and a dandy one. Here's a big show today and a dandy good one too. Okay, cool. Oh no, this miner hung himself in a graveyard. He first told friends that he was going to do away with himself, as that his body would be found in the graveyard. Man, well, he told him. No, I'm not. Suyoku's just leaving. I'm going for a little bit longer. This is our last page, though, and it's just going to be this paper, so we're ending actually pretty soon. Anyway. Called meeting of the degree of Pocahontas for this evening to make arrangements. What? By order of Belle Glicker, Pocahontas. What does Pocahontas mean? I have no idea what they're talking about. This is just another ad. Swamp root. Something. Okay, hold on. I need to zoom out. Talcum specials. I completely skipped over that because they were boring. Buckeye grain drill. Irish fertilizers. Dresses. And percales. I'm not actually sure what that is. I've seen that. And ginghams. New fall models. Oh, they keep saying models. So I don't feel bad now marking fall styles because, like, I get it. They just phrasing is different at this point in time. They wanted a man of good character and ability to sell things. Team's white cook, also girl for second work. Okay. Feels a little racist, but it's fine. We'll let it pass. We don't have racism on our card, so it doesn't matter. A house of 6 rooms, bath. Okay, they want a house. They want a girl for general housekeeping. Canning factory needs girls. A woman to do washing. High Class Bird Dogs by Alfred King. Oh, okay. Hunting, I assume. This is for rent. Oh, it's for sale. I was like, do they need bird dogs? No, they're selling a bird dog. House for sale, for rent. Wanted a woman who thoroughly understands cooking and active to assist at the new Nelson Hotel. Okay. So they want a woman who is active and understands cooking. Bi-weekly sale at the barn. A puzzler. Pa? Yes. Teacher says you're here to help we're here to help others. Of course we are. Well, what are the others here for? To help you. Stop being stupid. Ooh. Pop, what is the difference between a dialogue and a monologue? Well, when two women talk, my son, it's a dialogue. But when a woman carries on a conversation with her husband, it's a monologue. That's sexism. Definitely marking that one. If we didn't already mark sexism, that would be it. Talking about birds making love. Basically, I think we're just talking about English weather or something. I don't know what happened to the music, but there we go. Now it's back. You just have to complain about it, and then it comes back. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing there. Someone has a funeral. Someone clipped this article, you can see here, too. So that must mean that they're probably a descendant. So shout out to them. Strike. 10,000 Indiana miners who have been on a strike for the past 2 months will return to work tomorrow as a result of an agreement reached here today between President White of the United Mine Workers of America and the coal operators. It was agreed that the operators could work 2 shifts of men in wired galleries and that a miner discharged by the operators be reinstated. Okay, that is something on our bingo card. We have strike. Now all we need is a picture of a hat to get another option at a bingo. But again, I didn't see any at immediate glance on this page. So I need a picture of a hat. Maybe I'll go back through and check, because there might have been some ads where the hat wasn't the focal point. Some are. They're like hat ads. We did see a hat ad, but we did not see a photo, or not, they're not photos, but a picture with that hat ad. So, you know, we'll see. Okay. Back to the paper. Right. Gates. Will not affect the stock market. That's good. We keep seeing people talking about him dying. Here. Another boating fatality. We've already had 2 steamers. This sounds like a smaller boat, though. Dynamite explosion. Oh no. 1 man killed and several injured. With the sick. Has stroke of paralysis at the home of her daughter. Oh no. Someone else has typhoid. And someone else has typhoid. My goodness. Okay, visitors. Guests. The old crook's advice to his brilliant young people. This looks like a long story about something I don't care about. Flowers and blood. I'm intrigued. Let's read. A superstition dating from olden times. Olden times. Whatever that was. Exists to the effect that roses and flowers generally attain greater beauty in soil fertilized by blood, especially by human blood, than elsewhere. Persons who have visited Newmarket, England, know of the so-called bloody flower of Newmarket, which is found nowhere else than in the old moat now filled up, and in which, according to tradition, a very large quantity of human remains is interred. These flowers bloom in June and July, and by the blood-like hue of their blossoms suggests the name which has been given to them. Spooky. 1 lot tub jacket suits. Don't know what a tub jacket is, but summer goods to make room for fall goods. See, I wouldn't count goods in place of styles, but I will take models in place of styles. Soda. Oh, it is actually soda drinks. I thought they might be talking about baking soda or something, but they're not. Ice cream! Oh my gosh, we have our ice cream! Soda, superb, dainty, and refreshing soda drinks made perfectly and purely, and served expertly to satisfy thirsty throat or jaded palate, the kind that makes everyone come back for more. All plain and ice cream combinations and fancy conceits. You gotta have the fancy conceits. Okay. At the pharmacy. Wow. I guess that makes sense. Okay, wow. I'm so excited that we have our ice cream. People act like ice cream doesn't exist. It's ice cream. We do have. Okay, now actually I might mark that distinguished gentleman if we had a bicycle option. We're getting a lot marked on our card. Just no bingos. Go back. I'm kind of surprised we got the ice cream. Came in at the very end. The Pope is doing things. Oh, he's better. That's good. Good for him. He had some gout issues, but he's good now. That's fine. Oh, and he had fever. Oh, poor buddy. Oh, this is that Historia ad that's always at the bottom of the pages. Not on this one. On this one, it's over here. May have contracted rabies. I saw babies for a second, and I'm like, may have contracted babies. How do you do that? No, someone got bitten by a bad dog. Mad dog. Mad dog, that's what I meant. This person died. R.I.P. This person also died. R.I.P. This person did, because we're in the obituary section. That makes sense. And I think that is our whole paper. That is our paper. Yeah. That is it. Looks like we did not get a bingo, unfortunately. No bingos. But we did mark plenty of squares, so it was just the luck of the card. We just got poor luck with our card is all. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. But we were pretty close. We were one away, science and picture of a hat. We just didn't have, wait, I forgot. I want to go back and check picture of a hat. We just gotta see. We gotta see. No pictures of hats on this page, because there might be one sneaking in. It might not be a hat ad, but there might be a man wearing a hat. Or it might be a lady. Usually they're not wearing hats. Maybe they are. I don't know. This guy is not wearing a hat. You know what? I think we might call it for this man wearing a hat. I think he's wearing a little hat on his head. And hats. This is like a little sailor hat. I think we might give it. Normally I mean for ads, but you know, we'll take it for any picture of a hat. But we'll see if we can get a better one. It feels a little better. They're not wearing hats. This guy is definitely wearing a hat. Okay, we do have pictures. We have multiple pictures of hats. See, these people are not wearing hats. I'm tempted to give this guy Distinguished Gentleman, but we don't need it because no hat. We have a little sailor wearing a hat. No hats. No hat. Oh, he's wearing a hat too. We have some clear hattage going on. Oh, did I not switch it back? Wait. Did I? Anyway. I don't know if I switched it back. Anyway, we have a hat here. Just for reference, just in case I didn't show it. We have a hat there. The music keeps cutting out. We have a hat here. And we have a hat. Right, on this one. Right here. Right here we have our hat. So that is definitely a hat. We will mark picture of hat. And that is our bingo. We did it. We got a bingo. Where'd the music go? Anyway, we've got a bingo. We did it. We did it. Honestly, we could have had one earlier. And these are all uncontested. Season styles is a little bit contested. I was going a little easy on that one. That was the only one though, because I didn't actually end up marking Distinguished Gentleman. But we definitely had William H. Taft. He was all over this paper. We did have mention of a strike coming in at the very end. Of course, our free space was a furniture ad. Of course, we had furniture ads. We had a picture of a shoe, multiple pictures of shoes, very clear shoe ads with pictures, and picture of a hat. Again, it's not a hat ad, but I will take it. I will take it. We'll take any pictures of shoes or pictures of hats anywhere. It's meant to target ads, hat ads, and shoe ads, but there's a picture that, you know, because again, as we saw, there were plenty of pictures of people's heads. They just aren't usually wearing hats in those pictures. So it's not like it's a really common occurrence to find any old picture of a hat, right? Like, it's kind of rare. Not rare per se, but definitely not as common as the people. They're not all wearing hats, so we'll take it. We'll take it. And obviously if you have a hat, and we did have a hat ad, they just quite often will show a picture of a hat with the ad. And here they didn't, but like, you know, obviously your chances of getting a hat in a hat ad are greater than like that, like fly with the cows and the horses and like get rid of their flies ad. Like that had a hat in it, but like, how would you have known? That was a weird thing. If I said, hey, you know, take a guess, is there going to be a hat in this ad? You wouldn't know. But if there were a hat ad, obviously the chances are greater. So anyway, that's the logic behind it. Same thing with shoes. I'll take any picture of a shoe. Obviously in a shoe ad, it's way more likely. But a lot of the pictures don't actually show people's feet, so it's kind of rare to get shoes. But we had a bunch of shoes in this one. 2 shoe ads, specifically. 1 shoe ad with multiple shoes in the picture. It's crazy. Anyway, we didn't see a lot of things we usually see. We usually get some spectacles involved. We usually see some science or distinguished gentlemen, but otherwise we got a lot of them this time. It was just rough because we almost didn't get them in the right row. But so picture of a hat we could have marked way earlier, but strike that was the one that cinched it for us on the last page and got us to get our bingo. So hooray, we did it. Successful bingo. This just foretells good luck. Good luck until, or we'll say for this week. The rest of this week we'll have good luck because we did our bingo. That's what that means. Okay, so anyway, that was our Chillicothe Gazette from August 9th, 1911. Even though it wasn't called the Chillicothe Gazette then, the Scioto Gazette from newspapers.com is of course where I accessed this. There we go. And weather indications. Fair tonight and Thursday. Cool. Anyway. Yeah, so this was a paper we did for today. And I keep going pretty slowly through some of these papers lately for some reason. Don't really know why. Other times I go through them faster, but maybe next time we'll do more than one paper. Who knows? But yeah, so this was today's paper. By the way, if you want to, like I said, the music, it's medieval lo-fi. I'm just streaming their live stream on YouTube, and which is Creative Commons with attribution. So if you want attribution, it's !music, and it shows you the YouTube channel as well as the Creative Commons license. So it is there. Yeah. So I think that is going to be it for us for this stream. A successful bingo, and we got our ice cream in the end even, and you know, it was pretty satisfying overall. Pretty satisfying. Okay, so yeah, that is it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more Medieval Dynasty tomorrow is what we're streaming. So that should be fun. We were moving steadily along last time with that game, building our settlement, and I think we'll be having our kid in that game soon. And we have plenty more buildings to work on building, a lot of stuff moving right along in that game. So so that'll be tomorrow. And then on Saturday I'll be back with Immortality, continuing on with that game some more as well, because it's really fun, kind of unique, I think, at least compared to what I've played. But anyway, what? Oh, none of these redemptions were showing up in my chat. What is up with that? I'm sorry that I didn't notice anyone's redemptions. I am so sorry. I kind of expect them to show up in my chat because I have my stream up on my phone, and I expect them to show up in chat. And today they decided just not to do that, so I am sorry. It's pretty glitchy, it would seem. So I apologize. My bad. But that's fine. Hopefully tomorrow they will be working. I'll check them at the beginning of the stream tomorrow to make sure they're working again. Last time they weren't working, they were just working fine the next time, so I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, thanks for chatting, thanks for joining me on this journey through 1911 Ohio. And yeah, so see you guys, have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow, so you know, have a good night, day, days until I see you again. And yeah, so goodbye.